Yeah. I just wanted to say that it really irritates me that South Park would say that red-haired people don't have souls, okay? Because we do. We do have souls, alright? And lately I've been being called a ginger. A fat ginger. By everybody at school. And it really hurts my feelings. I act like it doesn't, but it does really bad. Gingers have souls! I go to church. I'm a Christian. You don't know me. You're not God. You're not God. You don't know who has a soul and who doesn't, alright? I'm a Christian. So if you think I don't have a soul, you tell me. Otherwise, fuck you. Bitches, you... For real. I'm getting sick and tired of everyone making fun of red-haired people. Like, he's a ginger. He's a ginger. Really, that's funny. Yeah. Okay. I'm being called a ginger every single day at school. Every day of my life. I've contemplated suicide, all sorts of things. It pisses me off. Ginger people do have souls, alright? I'm red hair. I have red hair. I got red hair, and I'm proud of it. Alright? I consider ginger a very slanderous word. Demeaning word. And I'm tired of it. Tired of it. You know, everybody else gets respect. I mean, black people, white people, Mexicans, everyone. Gingers, why do gingers have to be put down so much? Like, really, what's so different about us besides our hair color? Huh? Really? What is so freaking different? Tell me! God! Because I don't really see much of a difference, okay? I'm redheaded, and I'm proud of it. Alright? Everyone else, I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult you. But, you know, I mean, I'm proud of me. I'm proud of myself, you know? I'm proud I got freckles, you know? It's who I am. God made me that way. And I have a soul. So, yeah. Don't freaking be like that, okay? I have a soul. Ginger and proud of it.
Shut the fuck up, fat boy. And all we want to know is, does the carpets match the drapes? Welcome into the motherfucking Usual Suspects.
Welcome to Usual Suspects podcast, where the unpredictable meets the unstoppable.
You might know us, you might not.
Here come the crew, it's time to ignite. The Usual Suspects taking over the night. Ghost Boogie with the DJ and moves, gliding through the shadows, breaking the rules. Mad ways bringing chaos to the stage. A mastermind of madness, flipping every page.
This is from Mitch and Mike, y'all.
Cool, keeping it together like a seasoned jewel. Richie's the wild card, you never can guess. A beer in his
If he'll
hand,
show
always
up,
at his
or if
best.
you
Then he got the blueprint to calm in the storm. A steady
Wild card is a
navigator
good way
in
to say it.
every
Wild
storm.
card.
Usual suspects, they're breaking the mold.
Uh-huh.
They part. The story unfolds from the
We're still the Usual Suspects, bitches.
watch them go.
Y'all the Usual Suspects. We got GMC Techs in the house. Let's get it.
Herbs wants the vibe, cool as the breeze.
Shout out to
Dropping wisdom with the
Herbs.
flow that'll put you at ease. Huggy Farms bringing trees with roots that run deep.
Shout out to
Keeping
Huggy.
the crew grounded when the odds look steep. Mikey unlikely, the surprise.
Shout out to Mikey.
Keeps you guessing, always on track. The Usual Suspects.
Yeah, for
number
guessing
one
all the
source.
time.
Together they rise, an unstoppable force. The Usual Suspects, they're breaking the mold. Each playing they part. The story unfolds from the shadows to the spotlight.
Candace in Limbo. The newest of the usualest suspects. Like,
and turns through highs and lows.
Midget Mike likes the old school versions of shit. He likes the too short versions of everything. He's like, we make it in 5 minutes of this phone.
Misfits are forced to be seen. The usual suspects live in the dream.
He even got guitar solos and shit. Midget Mike fucking got AI Slash on retainer. He's like, get it. Groovy, yeah, that's right.
Ghost Boogie, Mad Ways, Jeff, Richie, and Danny, together forever, a legendary clan, the usual suspects, unstoppable team. This is the anthem, their legacy.
Oh shit. I told you, Midget Mike be going.
A legendary clan, the usual suspects.
Let's see, he's gotta add Candace.
This is the anthem, their legacy.
At Becca. But Becca doesn't have thoughts right now. She's sleep as fuck right now. Oh, he's taking you to church. Break down. Clap.
The unabridged version.
I see the people in a choir robes and shit. Like,
I think it's got like a Mike Shinoda, Linkin Park kind of thing going on. All right.
All right. I was wondering if we were gonna have another scary. I haven't listened to that one in a minute, so I was gonna wonder if I was like, is there another scary movie ending that's gonna happen? Like, is it over? Like, aside, we going back to church? Like, have like, fucking,
The usual suspects.
it's like some
Oh,
motherfucker.
man.
Some motherfucker come out like you.
Let's hear from Lady Gaga.
Yeah. She starts crooning and shit.
Right.
Man, what's goody, Jeff? What the fuck is going on in your world? You've got a lot. I would say
Man.
he's got kind of an explosive situation going on. Why don't you let all of the folks know what is actually fucking going on? Candace in Limbo, GMC, Texas. Mr. Mike, he called.
Yeah, I do I look like a Men in Black right now, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I got a lot going on, man. So the explosive
What's up?
part and why I'm fuming.
Yeah, why are you fuming, man?
Why my blood is full of gasoline right now is
Yeah.
I got a bunch of 50-gallon drums of gasoline in the garage downstairs.
Fuck yeah,
So,
he does.
Yeah. I told Boogie, I was like, hey, this might be interrupted by the fire department. We're gonna see how it goes. But I walked in tonight from work, and there was what would you say,
The
unambiguous.
picture's unnerving. Can I share? Well, like, can I share the fucking
Yeah,
picture?
there was an unnerving amount of gasoline fumes
Hold on,
when I walked into my place today. I live in an apartment. It's kind of a loft apartment, so there's a bunch of garages below my expansive spot upstairs. I got my garage is one of the four, but this will be a picture straight on of like all the barrels that are in some guy's garage that rents it. But this is there. I think there's about 100 gallons of gasoline in barrels below my bedroom, below my bed. So
Yeah, that's
hopefully-
crazy.
I
I
know.
gotta save it.
Yeah, man. It's I got, like I said, this might get interrupted because that's not something that's super safe. My state rules say that you can't have more than 5 gallons of gasoline in in any domicile garage. It has to be standalone. It has to be in the proper shit. And yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
We'll
pretty
see, man.
fucked
It's
up.
cool. It's not even the fumes. Like, I'm not even worried about brain damage because, like, that's a foregone conclusion. But I just don't want to explode. That's my
Nah,
problem.
man.
Yeah. Actually, I don't want Lily to explode. I don't want Lily to explode, me to explode. Any of my paintings, I have 100 paintings here, so I don't want them to explode. We shall be seeing what happens.
We don't want Jeff to explode. Come on now.
Yeah, man. Imagine. I mean, what a painless way to go, but still, I don't want to go like that.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, you might just
that's true. I don't know.
You might have like a leg explode off, and you have to slowly bleed out, and no one got time for that.
Yeah, I sent Richie a picture of Two-Face from The Dark Knight, and I was like, oh man.
All right.
Oh yeah, I reported to the fire. The fire department knows about it. I don't know if they're coming out tonight. Like I said, I might get interrupted by all of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be by myself because.
Yes, I hope not. But
I don't care. Danny's not. Yeah, Mike, he's sick. So check it out, man. So this right here is
below my bedroom, dog.
Take a look at this shit, man. Like. I'm zooming in, so like if you zoom out, like ooh, that's way the fuck out. Like that's like
you can't even smell it from there.
Like you know what I mean? And like just start moving in. Like it's the pale blue dot, and as you start moving in, 3IA Atlas goes. Hey, look at this shit, man. Like, all right, so like this, I'd have problems with it, but. Here's the thing that you said that I don't know if you've actually said it yet, but you said for the last 2 days or nights that you've come home, your fucking whole get down smells like straight up gasoline.
It reeks.
Like that's not good. Like, you know what I mean? Or if you like huffing gas, you know what I mean? Like maybe this is the apartment that they can rent to Jesco White from like the Wonderful White So Wonderful. Because like they said he's huffed so much gas he could tell what the octane level was in it.
Yeah.
But like, that right here, this is an egregious amount of chemicals.
It scares me a little bit, even if they're all empty, right? Even if it turns out they're all empty, it's fine. It's like generally safe or whatever, man. This is a terrifying thing. Like my bedroom is right here, like right in this area, right above this barrel. So, yeah, I'm worried about it. So we'll see.
Explosive.
I opened up the windows so I won't die of the fumes, but like, also above the trailer is where like my water heater and my central air are. So even though there's like the floorboards, obviously the fumes are getting up here, and if you know anything about water heaters, little combustible. Get out, brah!
I mean, this motherfucker needs to rent a storage unit.
That's what or there's places that you can rent for this, right?
Absolutely. Well, it's that's going to be a little bit more, a lot of it more than what he's probably paying for this space, right?
Yeah.
In regards to residential compared to business. Yeah. I mean, this motherfucker's using it as a business space.
It ain't no $50, that's for sure. So anyway, if I gotta go, that's why. But I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be here now, and
we're happy to get you here, man. Fucking look, I told Jeff, I was like, man, you just gotta go live, man. Like you gotta just join the link from the show and like take us. So we're gonna try when it is appropriate and not obstructive. Yeah. If he has the ability and it does happen, we will have Jeff live on the scene, letting us know, like giving us fire truck. Cause you know what I mean? Flashing lights, you know what I mean? Everybody can sit there and look at flashing lights. I mean, I'm not trying to make light of a fucked up situation because no one wants this to happen to any of us. But, the situation with the ransom and the abduction of that's ever
Savannah
occurred.
Guthrie's mom.
Yeah, I never even knew who Savannah Guthrie was, or it registered like you know who that is. I was like, I don't remember her, man. Like I
Yeah.
never, but you know, and that's that. But I understand, like, okay, she's huge, right? And then that happened, and it's a horrible situation. Like, but why do they have posted up in front of their house or the mother's house
Mm-hmm.
like all of these fucking media vans and live fucking 24/7? It's supposed to be a dark neighborhood in regards to where light pollution laws, where there's no street lights or anything, so you can actually
Right.
stargaze and enjoy, um which I think is a dope ass rule, but also I'm kind of like a who's that peeking in your window, pal, nobody now type of guy.
Yeah.
Um, so I would have, so I had to have night vision like Tony Montana type shits. But I mean, I don't understand. Like, what the fuck do they expect? Like, do they expect she's gonna be like,
She's gonna show up.
yeah, like, she gonna be an apparition? Like, you know, is it gonna
Yeah.
be like, you know, Mary in the sky, you know, or some
Yeah.
stigmata type shit gonna happen? Like, she's gonna, oh, like, but in all reality, my thing and my hot take about it, Jeff, before I get your hot take about it, I want to know one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know both sides of your opinion on it. All right. Like,
Yeah.
all right. So this happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to play the bullshit games, or are you going to pay? And if you are the bad guys
Right.
and you stated your terms and your terms were never met, like, and you know, for without a shadow of a doubt, if you make any communication that they got you, right? Your only advantage is to get the money and run, or and produce it and have something in the way of, and of course they talk about the problem of being able to convert it over, but you and I know if you're a criminal, you can make the shit happen.
Right.
But what would be your take on this situation?
So you just brought up a lot of stuff. So let me back up one step.
I brought up a shit ton of stuff
So-
because I want you to think this through, like on all the angles, because I have a lot to say and think about it with that.
Okay. So I talked to my mom about this. So like we already have a plan. So let's back up one step. So I'd say the media vans, all that kind of stuff. There's that. I think that goes to obviously the First Amendment. There's, they can be there. It's a public street, that kind of thing. I think what they're doing is there's such a lack of information, right? The police have not been like as forthcoming with all their evidence. I think that's a strategic thing, right? They don't want to. They don't
Absolutely.
know who this is. There's not like a suspect. They don't have a vehicle color or model or anything like that. So I think it becomes where, what's up, Matt Ways? I think it becomes where everyone turns into like a journalist, right? Everyone wants to be like, oh, the cops are looking in the garage. Oh, the cops are now like focusing on the back of the house. Everyone's trying to glean some kind of information so that they can like there was blood found on the porch that matched the mom's DNA. Like everybody's trying to kind of parse these little details and trying to make a story for themselves, right?
Yes.
Everyone's trying to reconcile what happened and pontificate on what's going to happen next. On the other side, I'm kind of on the side of you know, kind of how like we don't negotiate with terrorists because they asked for $6 million in Bitcoin. That's their ransom, apparently. There's been a couple of letters that have been given to local media outlets and whatnot. So the one they think has the most like credence that could be from the captor or captors asked for $6 million in basically untraceable cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
So my thing would be they might want this money and she's already dead. Or they might get the money and then kill her anyway, right? So I think like I was told by, you know, my own mother that was like, you never negotiate with these fucks, right? Like, you know, like be defiant, right? Like if I gotta go, I gotta go. Just like
So your mom was like, don't pay this.
Well, her
fuck 'em.
idea is like that sucks that I'll be killed or I'll die without my medication.
So
because-
your mom would be like, straight up, you better not. So like, let's say for instance, you paid the money. Your mom would like when like, you know, the fucking end of the story where like, you know, it's the storybook ending. She's in the fucking the rain jacket, the silver stuff, and the cops all, you know, hand her over to you. You get the like the loud guitar music and shit, and you embrace it. She just walks over to you. Why the fuck did you pay, you son of a bitch?
Here's the thing.
You should have let me die.
Yeah, I think like what we talked about was like, hey, either dead or alive, what you're doing is incentivizing people to do this to someone else, right? And that's what you don't want to do. And if you pay and they get what they want in the end, then it's incentivizing them to A, if they get away with it, do it again, or B, some copycat motherfucker to come by and be like, well, I want $10 million. You know, and I'm going to take Jake Tapper's mom or whatever, you know, or whoever, right? Any media person's mom. But I hate that it sounds like it adds up to me like it's kind of political, right? Like this is not just some old 84-year-old woman from the burbs, right? Like this is like a major media outlets, whether you know her or not. She's on front.
What network is she from? Like straight up.
She's been bouncing around. Savannah Guthrie has been around. I mean, she's been on like Good Morning America.
What is she currently on right now? Is she? I should know this, but I don't because it's a nightmare scenario, right?
It is. It really is.
And I feel absolutely horrible about it. And I disagree with you because like my thing is if while you're looking it up, I'll give it. Or do you have it now?
So she has been basically with NBC News since 2007. She's a legal analyst and correspondent. Her main focus is on trials, but she's on like the Today Show. So mainly NBC. She's co-anchor of the Today
Show.
Have a
political leaning?
I mean, probably, you know, I mean,
is she
she's
conservative or is she left?
She's a liberal side of things, I would say. She went to Georgetown, all that kind of stuff. So
I'm just trying to say, because you mentioned political, and I'm thinking, okay, well, like which way is this? Yeah.
And Above Below has a great point when I'll let you take off on your whole full take. Well, she makes good money, but like, I looked it up and it says her net worth is like $40 million, which is like, you know, the internet says a bunch of shit. She'd be worth whatever. It's hard to come up with $6 million in fucking cash, no matter who you are. So liquid. I don't know, man. It's sad across the board because, you know, I mean, this poor woman, she didn't, you know, she might have different views than her daughter, right? That's allowed. Yeah. You know, so we don't know. There's just, I think my whole point is there's such a lack of information that's been given to the public, which explains why everyone's so looking for answers and why, you know, I feel like it's weird because, you know, as much as your emotions tell you want your mom back, but then strategically you're like, yo, this is going to incentivize people to do this more. And,
well,
you know,
I'll do this. Like, so my thing is, you basically, if you do what like if you involve the police and you do what they tell you to do, you know that they're going to try to stretch it out, get leverage, create contact so they can catch them. If you're
Yeah.
a bad guy, you're like, no, we've got this because we know that. And it's been proven like every single one of the false ransom notes have been ran down and like
Mm-hmm.
arrested within like under 6 hours type shit. Like the
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker hit send and like 30 minutes later, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, what
And
the
they sent it
fuck?
to the local.
Like,
They sent it to local media outlets, like your local TV station.
dude, yeah, like, you know, it's crazy, right? So,
Mhm.
um, so if you're the bad guys, you're like, hell no, I'm not gonna call you.
Mhm.
I like no, like here's your deadlines. And the first deadline was missed, and then I mean we're past the final deadline, right? And
Right.
whatever that means. So, and the message yesterday that came out was crazy.
Yep.
But I mean, all of that shit, speaking of bad guys, you know, I don't know if you guys know this, but of course, there's a guy named Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm.
He's kind of
I've heard.
famous, or infamous. Famous, infamous, and what's up above below? 40 million you're asking. I'm asking for 5 million. You're asking
Mhm.
for your grip. I get you.
You should have been like $1 billion. Like, come
$1
on, man, 5 mil,
billion.
6 mil. What are you fucking doing, man? That's like, you can't even buy. I mean, there's $1 million houses that look like normal houses these days. Like, what are you?
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna say that everybody knows about the Epstein files, and yeah, actually, before we segue in, like we have Matt Ways tuned in, we got Bub Below in here, we got GMC Text, what's a goodie, and Candace Sita. And if you guys don't know, Friday we made the announcement, but Miss Candace in limbo, Candace Sita in limbo. Candace does a whole lot of things, right? And one of them is now she's a full-time member of the Usual Suspects. She's going to, when I say full-time, is that, you know, she has a life and she has a schedule too. And she's going to be joining us as much as she possibly can, like on an alternating Friday or Monday basis when she has the availability. So we'll be getting Candace on some Fridays and some Mondays when she gets in where she fits in. But she is one of us now. And be on the lookout. Make sure you follow her. She does a whole lot of independent streams. She streams on Sundays, I think at noon her time. I'm probably fucking completely wrong. But Sundays afternoon ish. You can check her out. And she's in the chat, I'm sure, if she's still in the chat. And then Matt Ways has been on the set. He is currently selling The Rock because he's on the set of Jumanji 3. And like he's now smoking weed with The Rock on the reg. He's got hash holes. He's got Rock addicted to Cali Bray's hash holes, man. And the Munchie budget is going out there. They're losing money on Jumanji.
Yeah.
They're hemorrhaging cash because they're just doing nothing but hash holes on the set and fucking munchies. Bart's Barbecue.
Hell yeah.
I'm making shit up, but he's been putting in his work, but Mad Ways is still getting down, but he's out there getting that paper, man. And salute to him for that. So, and
All
Danny
the
said,
on-site catering, they're going broke.
hell yeah, they're like, these hash holes are great for us. For the caters, like, more hash holes, get them more. But yeah. But so transitioning to, man, these files were released, right? But I found something and
Some
came
of them.
across, yeah, some of right, exactly. Very much so. Correct, sir. So I typed, this is a website right here, guys, that I put in the chats for you on the replay and on the live. And I'm just going to share this with you because this shit's wild. So someone took and made, and I'll make this so it's probably a little bit more legibles. Okay, I guess. So now this is a spoof account, and essentially it's like you're logged in as Jeffrey Epstein, right? But what isn't spoofing is, and I will say that, we'll have disclaimers and all of that. There's something that we've got to make sure that we say so we don't legally fucking come take what? But let's
Well, Jeffrey ain't gonna sue us, so
right. They're just gonna blow you up. But like that motherfucker alive, yo. I ain't gonna I think he's alive. I think it's dead ass. Like I think he's if Tupac and Elvis is alive, man, motherfucking Jeffrey Epstein's alive because he's the most plausible. I mean, do you know about like the fucking shit that about his like gaming accounts being active and shit, fam? All of this shit.
Yeah. His Xbox account was like canceled by Bill Gates.
But no, his like Fortnite shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so his shit went inactive the fucking like time that he went in jail and then reactivated the time that he supposedly was unalived. Either by his hands or someone else's hands, right? And also the posts about the guard that witnessed the transfer and him being let out by, this is all allegedly, by in a wheelchair into a transport vehicle, never to be seen again in that morning. Of course, there was what was happening, and also the fact that there was someone that was just conveniently posted outside of the jail to catch the picture of the body being transported at fucking 2 a.m. on an August 2nd or whatever the fuck it was. Like, there's so many different things. And then the picture that but AI like a motherfucker could be, but like, have you seen the picture, like the full, like he got an Al-Qaeda beard type Epstein get down? It's the thuggish rugged thing. Like, so anyway, what I found, this thing is dope because, again, allegedly this is someone and indexed every single one of the documents that have been uploaded as of whatever, like, and it says there's all these different new, so there's an update as of the 7th of February this year. Everything is updated. What's dope is like you search it like your Gmail. So if you want to say, for instance, all right, chat, I want you guys to tell me, what name do you want to click on first? Do you want to click on Musk, Ehud Barak, Ghislaine, Peter Thiel, Larry Summers, Steve Bannon? Let's see here. Masa Busher, Michael Wolff, Bill Gates, Noam Chomsky, Tom Pritzker, Alan Dershowitz. Who we want? My son, he was like, you should look for the Bengals ownership, Dad. I was like, all right, that's a bet.
If his email, I would vote for the person who has like the most emails like to him, which is Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon has the most like emails to him,
or some shit that he was like, he was basically doing PR for him after he was evicted. Yeah.
So, all right. So let's see here. Let's go to the first one. All right. This is Steve Bannon, April 23rd, 2019. Announcing the 2019 Hellman Prize winners. And this is Michael Wolff and the email. Another big prize for Miami Herald. Look at the judges on this thing. The right thinking establishment to a T.
And Michael Wolff, by the way, is a journalist. He was a journalist for the New York Times, bunch of stuff. Ta-Nehisi Coates is like a investigative journalist as well. So like they're, a lot of people that are mentioned, just because they say SpongeBob in one of these emails doesn't mean SpongeBob was like, doing explicit things. So you got like that's our like
this is our
thing,
absolutely our disclaimer is yes. Yeah. Just because someone is mentioned in these things does not mean that they were involved in any nefarious acts or anything like that. They just happen to maybe be just like you texting somebody, one of your homeboys, and you mentioned somebody like we just made fun of The Rock smoking Cali Blaze hash holes, and if we actually need to say it legally, that all of that's me making shit up.
Right.
You haven't figured that shit out by now. Anyway,
content, Boogie. I think for me, as far as I'm concerned, it's less of the content and more that you are emailing a convicted, right?
Like, yeah, I mean, these are
in January 23rd, 2019. You're corresponding with someone who is a known convicted, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he got a sweetheart deal from Pam Bondi and all that bullshit in Florida. But like, what this guy was up to. You can't a lot of these people can't play like they were like, I had no idea. It was on the frickin' news, man. You were like corresponding with him a lot. If one of the usual suspects was convicted of something as heinous and terrible and destructive as this, I would not be emailing them for anything. I wouldn't be emailing them, hey, check out this, did you know that Jumanji 3 is coming out or Spaceballs 2? Like there would be nothing. I've ghosted worse people, or I've ghosted better people than this. So that's my whole thing.
Don't be using my name in vain.
But you see what I'm saying? You see my point? It's like, this guy was on Front Street as like a criminal trafficker. And they still were just like, hey, man, what's up? Are you, we're going to have a party or what?
Yeah, here's Elon. So this was as of September 18th, 2014. Reed and Joy will meet me in Palm Beach the eve of the 28th, and I will fly them to the island, then to Boston on the 30th. Come.
Yeah.
Have to be in London and California on those dates.
Right.
Another time of your choosing, just let me know. Like, it's clear that the homie was thirsty for Elon.
Yeah.
The homie really wanted Elon, and there's not anything that's been released in here that shows that Elon committed like some of the other folks that have been in here, like Bill Gates, man. I definitely want to see. I waited for this stream to actually get in and start looking at shit, right?
Yeah.
But so this is the first one. Will be around the week of the 28th for General Assembly Clinton Week in New York. Please note, the information contained in this communication is confidential and may be attorney-client privileged, may constitute inside information, and is intended only for the use of the addressee as property of JEE. Unauthorized use, disclosure, or copying this communication, any part thereof, is strictly prohibited. It may be unlawful if you have received this communication in error. Please notify us immediately by return email or emailing jeevacation@gmail or jmail.com and destroy this communication and all copies thereof, including attachments, copyrights, all rights reserved. But this is now a publicly legal document and Rights of Information Act. So we are legally covered to cover this shit. So we got that. Let's see here.
And like I said, with the dates here, 2015, you already know he's a creep. right? Like this is not something. And what strikes me now seeing this, because Boogie, you just like brought this email thing to me.
Yeah.
Like I haven't had a chance to go through all of this, but this is funny because I've seen the last email you showed. The only thing redacted is Bill Gates's, and right here we can use this for example. Bill Gates and Larry Cohen's actual email address is the only thing taken out. On the original files that the Department of Justice, they released like basically a website, which you know you could go through, and then they start.
Oh, you can do it on this too. You can,
yeah,
yeah, we can do it.
But the thing that the Department of Justice had released before had redacted the names of Bill Gates and Larry Cohen in addition to their email addresses. So they're covering up the people, not even just sensitive information. Like they're covering up the names of the questionable assailants, I will call them. Which is like, I think for me and for a lot of people in America and around the world is like a bridge too far. It looks like the American Department of Justice is covering up their involvement,
folks,
right?
And the rich folks.
Yeah, and just because they're rich and connected is not an excuse to be nice to them, right? I think like the people at the Department of Justice are being too nice to the people who shouldn't be, you know, given the benefit of the doubt in this case. And then there were so many things that I saw that were like names of victims, names of friends of victims along the way that they just didn't bother to redact. So the fact that I see this is like, oh, wow, it's not just numbers, addresses, emails. They're covering up names of the people that were involved with this fucking creep. And that makes me, that sends all of my like investigatory, thoughts just go haywire on that. Was like, now, and I want to say like before, what's up, Three Eyes? I want to say I'm not a conspiratorial, right? I'm not like, I'm not QAnon. I'm not one of those people that are just, I'm usually like, it's probably a good explanation for flat earth or fucking aliens. You know what I mean? You've seen me before on this show go like, I don't know. That seems pretty crazy. But this is starting to be like someone has sat down and gone through with the perspective of covering for these people. You talked about maybe he might be alive or whatnot. I think the only thing that has fueled that, right, is that they were super fucking cagey on the surveillance video. Remember, there was like, well, there's 16 cameras. We're going to find something. They're like, oh, well, 15 out of the 16 cameras were inoperable at the time, or we just have this angle and nothing else. It starts to smell like shit or gasoline. So all of a sudden, there's shit or gasoline somewhere. And
like you do, right beneath you. And you
it might be right under your fucking nose, right? But it feels like a cover up. And I think that's why everybody's up in arms. It's not political. That's also another thing I want to say. This is not a left or right thing. This is about bringing sick fucking people to justice and, let the justice system hang on to them. But if the Department of Justice of the United States is going to cover for them in ways that they shouldn't be covered for, then we have to ask, what is the legitimacy of the Department of Justice right now? Whose side are they on, right? Is it the criminal or is it the victim?
Well, I mean, Bill Gates, too. I enjoyed breakfast a lot. You? All of the attendees were interesting people. And the equal signs got me fucked up. We managed to talk about philanthropy enough to get their reaction without putting them on the spot too much.
Mm-hmm.
These fucking weird emojis. It's pretty clear to
he
me
uses
that someone...
he uses equal signs like commas sometimes, which he was actually known. If you go through a lot of these, if you go through, like, I've been combing through this shit for as much as I get my hands on for a while now. And you see that Jeffrey Epstein he's not very literate, right? Like he uses email like instant messages or text messages, right? Like they don't really put in a lot of like, there's no capitalization. Their punctuation is fucking terrible. He was not known as like a smart, literate person.
Well, actually, you know what? I think that was Bill Gates that wrote that. I think this is a problem with the copy and paste of the actual
Maybe
text.
it
It's
was. Yeah,
actually
yeah. I saw
incorrect.
like an amp
This is corruption.
ampersand or something,
Yeah,
but
this
yeah,
is corrupted text. Is like
yeah,
I think this is from the data dump, but it's special characters. Like,
right. But my
yeah.
assumption still holds. He was
Oh
known
no, he
in the
was.
circles
Yeah,
as like not being particularly smart, except for what he was good at, which was all of the things
fam.
that we
I watched the I watched the damn episode today or this thing on the notes, the last three or the notes that were left. It was a breakdown. I watched this guy by the name of Dr. G. I don't know if you
okay.
guys ever seen him or not, but he is like a one of those people that's like a body language expert specialist, and he's
Hmm.
like someone that is of note in regards to he's been on high profile cases and helped like the
Working with law
government.
enforcement.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this guy is like, man, his shit is always like spot on. Um, and he did like a 20-minute video breaking down all of the information that there were these, I think it was like 3 to 4 pages of scribbling in notes and like diagram, like just these random fucking thought dumps of how he was going to get out and escape. It was like an escape
Mhm.
plan. And he
Yep.
like psychologically broke it down and then associated it with everything. And one of them was kind of, in a way, what happened, right? And if you think about it like this too, there was a big transference of wealth out of that trust from one into another. And whenever
Mhm.
anything's in a trust, it's behind veils. You can't see, there's no
A lot of it's
way to see.
offshore too, where
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah, I mean, like that's the reason why you put trusts in place to, confidentially and protect uh entities, legal entities. And
yep.
I like I said, man, if there was ever, I know in my heart of hearts Tupac is dead,
Hmm.
right? I never believed that Elvis was alive. I never believed that Jim Morrison was alive, right? uh I never believed Pac was alive. Maybe no. I thought maybe it was plausible, but no. I
Hmm.
knew, like I never believed that I believed that there was more of, at one point, that Suge was more involved in it than and that was my fault, but at the
And did he?
time,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, in the beginning of the Tupac song, or in the beginning of the very Machiavelli album, and the intro, within the very like first second, when you put it on, hit play, a bomb first, it says Suge shot him.
Hmm.
Subliminally, like right there, boom. It's like you hit play, Suge shot him.
Hmm.
And like it was inserted, and then of course, the whole manufacturing of the like 7 Day Theory, and like it was a
Right.
brilliant marketing campaign and
Yeah.
scheme that they put behind that. And I love what they did, uh, even at the sick hands of what they did. But like, to get all the way around the bases and all the way around the ballpark to get the point home is like, if ever I believe in a conspiracy theory, I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that homeboy is still alive.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say that, if anybody had the ability, it's clear that he had the connections, he had the leverage, he had you know, he had the collateral on everybody.
Hmm.
And like, just think about, okay, this is the shit that they've released, even redacted, and how damning it is as it is, right? But
Oh
we
man,
know
those
there's,
FBI phone calls are disgusting, dude. The things that some of the victims like testified under oath to the FBI
yeah,
is just, it was hard for me to read, and I've read some terrible things in my life, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So yeah, I know what you mean. I think with conspiracy theories in general, you have to ask yourself, how many people would it take to pull it off? And also, could all those people keep their mouths shut for so long, right? And I think that like the longer it goes, the less that's like the more it falls apart, because like let's say like the moon, you know how many people would have had to have been lying and covering it up and gone to their grave with the lie? Like, I know that's not out of the realm of possibility, but you have to think about probability, right? And I think that sometimes, like, let's just say Tupac, like, there's one of his friends, if they knew he was alive, they would have spilled the beans,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But in this case, I think it's super different because Epstein's friends are implicated in all these crimes. So, of course, they would keep their mouth shut, right? There's a huge difference between, say, the moon landing and Jeffrey Epstein, right? There's nothing to be gained by his friends telling the truth or coming out,
it
tomorrow and saying
benefits
what really
them that
happened.
he is dead, or
Yes, it benefits
his
everyone if he's dead
it
that's
correct,
involved. Yeah.
and or it even benefits them if he no longer is, all right, homie, like, we got you out, like, you know what I mean, and we've taken a loss, XYZ, and here's what it is, like, please leave us the fuck alone from here on out, like. But so, did he? So Above Below has a great quote, uh, and I have been thinking this too, because
Mhm.
oh girl, man, how horrible is it to have to find out or talk about live on the air if someone fucking, just blindsides you in an interview about
Mhm.
the whole finding out that Bill Gates, and I I'm sorry, yeah, I deal with bad news and shit by laughing at things. I apologize. I have a very dark sense of humor, and laughing is how I just deal with everything, right? But finding out on air, dude, like, and having to, not finding out on air, but having to talk about that live on air, that he was trying to figure out how to slip her a VD Mickey because, he
Mhm.
gave her the
And
clap.
why he needed to do that is
Yeah,
also fucking crazy,
because he got the clap, but he, Above Below says, she knew stuff, but she's not saying it. So she wants Bill to answer them himself, but does that make her guilty? And that's a great question. What do you think, Jeff?
I think that this is such a hot topic. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe she is waiting for, I mean, the impetus is on, she's divorced from him, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
finalized. She's got her money. Does she want to be the catalyst to blow this whole thing wide open, right? Or she's kind of she could either be implicated, right, and that'll keep her silence, or she's just like a fucking, she's a side victim of all this, right? Like,
I mean, she caught strays. I mean, she
yeah,
caught
she caught
strays. She's a
strays.
victim. She's a
She's
victim.
like, it seems to me
Or
that she's going out there and kind of giving a little. I saw her interview the other day where she's talking to the media. She's not clamming up and being silent like Bill, So silence is
she
kind of
divorced the homie publicly because
yeah,
it was public that she said that she had problems with him
right,
being friends with old boy. Like that
yeah.
was like
But she gave
that.
no other details. She was like, "I got my reason." You're right. Like
Yeah,
she was
like
like, "What he's been up to
she
is
stood on
abhorrent."
business.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she's like playing the game, but I think it doesn't mean it implicates her in like covering up knowledge of the events. I think it's such a gigantic scope that she can't come out with it because she doesn't even have all the pieces of the puzzle to give us, right?
Mhm.
I think she's just like a kind of like a side arbiter in the whole situation.
I
So
I would
yeah,
I would say that out of all of this, she's definitely don't know off the top of my head how much money she gets and receives still or received in, but I
I'll
mean,
tell you,
they
or at least
started
what they
with
think.
B's. They were B's. She got B's. And when you got B's, you've got plenty of attorneys. And she's very much got legal teams, press teams, PR teams, and machines behind her to let her know and her image to come out of this the best way looking possible she can.
Mhm.
So how much she get?
So the divorce settlement, as of tax filings that were revealed, Bill Gates transferred her $7.88 billion, and that's just what they filed on the tax form for that. And yeah,
7.8 billion. Woo!
yeah.
Billion.
The transfer of the nearly $8 billion was part of a broader separation of assets following their 2021 split, which marked one of the largest private divorces in history. Right?
So some of the shit wasn't even released
Wasn't
publicly.
even shown to the public of what she got. Right?
So publicly, almost 8 billy. And non-publicly, she had him by the short ones. And like the short and curlies, as my grandfather and my father would say, got you by the short and curlies. It's like, yep. Uh, man,
Ouch.
yeah, dude. She got him.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about like the Gates people, like, I've always tripped out like on the allegations and the thing about them with the population control conspiracy theory and them being such, advocates of, engineering the perfect condom. They had a contest, and not a contest, but when they, fund research and they give a bunch of money to all these different types of developers. I remember reading this in like Maxim magazine or some shit. And like part of it is that they were
Newspaper
using
of record, Maxim
they,
magazine.
yeah, right. It was something other than that, but I mean, there's other things about it because I've read about it and seen videos on it. But they did, and I'm sure you could fact check me, Jeff. That they came up the Gates Foundation about coming up with the perfect condom or the most easiest way to put a
Mhm.
condom on, right? And there were a couple of different designs because the intent is to be able to one identify the proper like which way, because when if you guys don't know how to use a condom, like you got to figure out which way the top, the way it rolls and all of that stuff, and you got to do the blow test. I always do the blow and tips, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
whatever. And there's been a couple of condoms that they've came up with that, like, you pull a tab and then it rolls it down, or you just pull it and it goes down like a
Mhm.
slinky or whatever, right? So, what did you find
Yeah.
the stuff?
Yeah, so there's a lot that the Gates Foundation did with like HIV in Africa. So that was kind of impetus to start this. And you're exactly right, because it was basically it was basically a contest. It was $100,000 grant that if you could show, like, basically like see the prompt and build a better condom, right? That's like cheaper, more accessible and distributive and easier to put on, then you can. So there was a Professor Duxu Kim won the grant from the Gates Foundation. It was a self-lubricating next generation condom. And it was considered to be twice as effective as a normal condom as well. So, basically it's getting men to like wearing condoms more is what it came down to, right? You gotta fucking do this, do that. Like, I don't like, it's like wearing a raincoat in the shower, the whole deal. And it's like, hey man, you got to leave all that behind. We got to make it easier and less intrusive for these people to wear it, because HIV and shit, we're trying to eradicate HIV and AIDS from the planet, right? So it came from a good place, but it says around here like that grant is only $100,000 for a little bit of research, but this gets into like reconstituted collagen and nanoparticles and all this crap. But basically, it didn't go anywhere, right? I think that gets to some of your point, was like, this was just like it was kind of worthless, and it never got mass produced. It never helped anybody in the long run. But there's a lot of these seed programs, and does that make him guilty of one thing or the other? I don't know. But you could start to see where the amount of money that these people can put towards any just harebrained idea that they want for the betterment of society could be filtered or laundered into other things, right?
Yes.
So it's not guilty until proven innocent, right? That's not what we're saying. It's just that where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think that the investigatory apparatus that could have been put towards all of this, if you see enough smoke, you could start to investigate, and you can come up with any reason to investigate anybody for anything, right? You don't sign this line on your mortgage, they can come after you for fraud if they really wanted to. You can get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich. So it starts to feel like a lot of these things were not followed up on in something that should have been investigated, not only for just money fraud, but like, where is this money going? And like not straight up fraud, but where all the dollars and cents have not been followed in the way that you would if you thought there was some smoke there. So it starts to make everybody go, why? Why is it not? Why is it not being followed up on? Like if you and I, or Above Below, or Three Eyes, or Madways sat here and fucking started laundering $1,000 here, $1,000 there, $1,000 there, we would get audited. There would be a follow-up to the shit we're doing. And we're not doing things in the hundreds of thousands. We're not doing things in the millions. We're not doing things in the billions, right? So why don't the people who have the most money and have the most power over society in the long run, why are they not subject to the same rules and applications and behavior that we do? Right? Is the law supposed to be equal? There's literally a lady with a blindfold and a fucking, like you're supposed to administer justice equally. And once it's not, you start losing the faith of the society that you're upholding their rights. Right?
Yeah.
So that's my rant on that one.
I know you on your soapbox tonight, Jeff.
I'm feeling it. I really don't think that this is on the up and up, right? And you could just, I think there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, well, the law is not applicable to everybody. That's just the way it is. Make more money and you could probably be outside of the law a little bit too. No, man, it shouldn't be
Well,
that way,
I mean, it
right?
shouldn't be that way, but it's been that way since the beginning of fucking time. He who has the gold
Yeah. Yeah.
is how the story is told, baby.
Right.
There's a
Right.
whole lot that I dropped in between, but this bars.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
yeah,
nah,
man,
but
I think there's a lot to be done, man. There's a lot to be done. This is not even
Gorilla
close to the
Strong.
end. There's so many people walking around right now that just shouldn't be walking around right now. I mean, as far as freedom, right? They should be in jail. They should be, I don't care if it's general population or not. To get into another thing, this happened this
Well,
morning.
hold on for a second. Let me let
But
everybody know. So just to give everybody a heads up, I put that in the link. We've been talking about the Epstein files, and we're about an hour in, and we've talked about some explosive details. We started off with gingers not having souls, and shout out to that kid. And I could see, like, he got bullied and shit like that. That's some bullshit. You know what I mean?
yeah, they call me a fat ginger every day of my life.
Yeah, man. And I said, shut up, fat boy. Carpets match drapes. And that was just me piling on being an asshole and being the villain that I like to portray. But even at the end of the day, I got to say shout out to the homeboy, because I didn't mean no harm about that. You know what I mean? Because that sucked. I mean, for the homeboy to go in and put into that rant, and then it becomes a meme. Like,
Yeah.
think about the early meme cultures and like this shit, like, because I put that link in the chat about the Epstein files. This is up to date, and I've got it here. And right now, someone that made this fucking website is a searchable by any type of topic. You can search this, and it's like you are logged in as Epstein, and you can go to anybody in the contact files and figure out who you want to check out. Like, as if we said, like, Bill Gates, or not Bill Gates, Clinton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Let's see. Boom. Here's all the Clinton shit. And the ones with attachments, because I know that Bub Below had mentioned, about like being able, yes, this will also
Seeing them in the hot tub and whatever.
Like, if there's like an image you can attach to it. I'm trying to find something with a paper clip or anything, but anything with attachments in it, you can click on it and see it, man.
Yeah, I look at the top of this. If you go like to the header, there's like there's a thing with a die, like dice, and it says random page. So you can just go random through it if you want.
Let's go random page.
Right there, check that out. Yeah.
All right, so Snow at Ranch J. Throat perfect. What the fuck? Throat perfect.
That mean, man?
Hold on, man. Throat perfect. What is throat perfect though?
Just landed in Morocco.
Hold on, man. Like, I think there's something that just added some lexicon.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Throat perfect. Hey, girl, that was throat perfect.
Hell yeah. Gorilla Strong, welcome in, dude. He says, look up beef jerky.
Look up beef jerky? Oh, shit. Do we really want to look this up?
I don't know if we do.
I don't know. Gorilla Strong's. Oh, God. What am I doing? I don't know who this person is. Jeffrey asked that you make some beef jerky for him, please. What the fuck? Would it be possible to make another? So help me out, Jeff. Do some fact checking and find out and ask in relation to what is beef jerky in regards Jeffrey Epstein.
All right. So first of all, let's start with Karina Shuliak. She is from Belarus. She is a
Okay.
dentist. She's known as the inspector. Everyone would call her the inspector. Beef jerky is still drying. That's another thing that a lot of people have pointed out. Like, is the beef jerky ready? Right? All this kind of that's perfect. I'll be in touch about it. She was Jeffrey Epstein's last girlfriend before his alleged suicide.
Oh, so
And,
this
and
is
she
the
was-
girlfriend.
She received $100 million from his. She's
Yeah.
like an heiress of his estate. So that's who she is from Belarus. There's a lot of people, like they just said, there's Russian ties in here. There's Israeli ties in here. This is
Well, these
worldwide.
emails are from the most, I guess, was November 2014.
Why is a dentist from Belarus asking? Look at this beef jerky, beef jerky, beef jerky, beef jerky, beef
There's
jerky.
some
What the
redacted.
fuck are they
Would it
talking
be
about? Right?
possible you to make another batch of beef jerky for JE, please?
Is he making beef
He's
jerky?
running out.
Right.
Of course, I did drop a few bags at the house. Did those get eaten already?
Come on, man. Come on, man. You know, it's the implication. You know.
All right, been meaning to ask, how did you like the beef jerky? Proud to
Right.
be the finest multinational. Let's see here. Yeah, that's just the tagline. All right.
Right. And I hate doing this because this is very conspiratorial. QAnon did the whole thing with pizza and the
But hold on, though. So,
thing.
bro,
So it's become like,
hold
really?
on.
Are you right?
But-
Really?
But
You know.
let's listen. That QAnon shit made me so made my head hurt. I was like, why?
Mhm.
What the fuck, people? Come on. And like, there were people that was balls deep into that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, and man, like the whole
Those people
Pizzagate
kept this
shit
thing
though,
going,
man,
whether
like
it's
ended
wrong.
is like in these fucking emails. Like, hold on though, like straight up, you can let's talk about because pizza is in this shit.
Mhm.
All right, let
We're
me
talking
see
about
here. Let me know when you find out about the pizza place. Let's see here. And that was that chick that she was talking about. That was on the 15th or 2015. Let's see here. Pizza. And it was redacted. Would it be okay to go to Red Hook for an hour to have quick pizza, just leaving after 7? Now, Red Hooks, believe it or not, that is crazy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It becomes about the dates, right?
Mama Boogie and I, we went to Red Hook on the Virgin Islands on St. Thomas, right? And like Red Hook, there was a eerie ass vibe to that spot. Number one, like as soon as we got out, like mind you, Mama Boogie, like we went to the OBGYN and made sure that, she cleared it, and like we passed all these things to make sure that it was going to be safe for the kiddos and everything. But like she ended up having the kiddos probably within a month after, or maybe a little bit, maybe just a little bit longer. I don't fucking know right at this moment. It's a blur. But she was super pregnant with the twins, and I was super protective. Like, get off the thing. And this old boy's like, hey man, you want to buy some weed and shit? And of course, like this, you know what I mean? It's just like, but like, because, we were coming off of the resort at the Ritz Carlton, and it was crazy. Like, we had pizza at the they were talking about this pizza spot in Red Hook.
Mm-hmm.
We ate there. Like if there was a bar, and while we were there, also something else that was crazy that was happening, that was being filmed, was the Real World was at this fucking bar being filmed uh while we were there. It was like it was the Real World, or it was a very popular MTV, like I don't know if it was the Jersey Shore, or but it was of that scale and of that type of programming that was being,
Right.
because
Road Rules, Real World.
we were like yeah, but it wasn't Road Rules, it was the more viral bullshit, like, but
Right.
like I we were like, we're gonna stay away from that spot over there because it was just popping, right? It was off the fucking chain, but it was a crazy spot. It had an eerie vibe, man, and but it also, again, like, you think that you see poor and poverty, uh, and it put so much things in perspective for me. It put so much in perspective for me, where it was like, okay, yeah, because I mean, like, there were these beautiful babies playing behind chicken wire, like, or I'm sorry, Constantine wire, in like in a yard, like it wasn't a playground, it was more of a yard, and there wasn't even, it was dust, there wasn't even any grass because they were just kids trampling on it, you know what I mean? It was just fucking
Mhm.
dust. But and I said, I asked the driver that was taking us from the airport to the resort, and I was like, man, why are they behind the fucking wire and shit? And he was like, because people will come and take the kids if they don't have them behind. Like, so it wasn't to fucking keep the kids in, it was to keep bad guys out, to
Yeah.
protect the fucking kids.
Right.
Right? And then you see the poor, and it was carnival. It was actual carnival there. Carnival was going on the time that we were there. So, like, when we were driving to the resort, or from the resort to Red Hook, there was like, you were driving through the mountains, and like through like the real part of the motherfucking,
Yeah.
like the real island, not
Mhm.
not the resort, not the
Yeah.
not the bay where the ships pull in. Like, you was
Right.
in the
Where you
real,
get your free drink tickets or whatever.
dude. But it felt like, man, we were in this crazy ass like golf cart, like, the sides were exposed, but it was a vehicle, man. It was like a school bus or a short bus with no sides on it, and we were going up and down these bumpy ass mountain roads and hills and shit. But like, people were like in their like tin shacks and shit, and but they had their shit bumping, and it wasn't like the normal, like, what you hear, the happy go lucky shit. It was like the funk shit. Like, it was like, I was like, there was a party, there was mad herb in the air and all this shit. I was like, these motherfuckers is getting it down right now. I was even talking to the driver. I was like, this is the time of the year for to be up in here. I was like, oh yeah, everybody's partying. I was like, hell yeah, man. It's carnival. But
Yeah.
that pizza spot just creeped me out. I went on a very wrong rampage, tirade and shit. But like that one right there,
Yeah.
ugh. But like
Well,
pizza,
you're right, man. I think that's what it is, man. A lot of these people wanted plausible deniability, right? They wanted to be like, I'm into beef jerky. What do you fucking want, right? They, like, if you're gonna correspond in a way, like, here's the thing. I think it comes back to what we talked to earlier. Was Jeffrey Epstein was convicted as a child
love you,
sex
GMC.
trafficker
Yep.
in 2008. So right when Obama was like elected, that's how, if you can get your brain around that, right when Obama was elected, that's how far back Jeffrey Epstein was already known to be a sex trafficking pedophile. And so for all these people to start saying beef jerky and all this kind of crap, right?
Yeah.
There's the impetus, the thing is on you. right? To explain yourself because you knew who this man was. It was in the news, right? And then you're still corresponding in all what seems to be fucking code, right? And that's the
Girls
thing.
told us that they were eating children.
Yeah, eating, killing, sex trafficking them. I don't know. Name your completely fucking terrible thing.
Allegedly.
So I don't know. Just to move this along, I think like let's get up to current events. So this morning, Ghislaine Maxwell said that, and we haven't even talked about her. She obviously got her sweetheart deal from from Pam Bondi first. She got it. And then, and it's been ongoing with her. She said, "Hey, if I get a pardon and I'm let out of jail, I'll spill all the beans." Right? And so, how does that?
Well, she doesn't want. She wants immunity or clemency, immunity, whatever.
She wants a pardon. Like, let's just face it. She wants to be pardoned for her crimes and let out of jail.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's not going to snitch on herself because, I mean, if she spills the beans and shit like that. But the part that now I saw this in an article, so I don't know and did not see the actual source material if it's true, but the quote that I read was that she specifically said that she would testify also that he was completely innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Trump
Gorilla Strong got it.
With it.
There you go. Yeah. She would absolve the people who are the presidents if she was granted clemency. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to make it's not left and right, y'all. Right? It's not about left and right. It's about what's decent. And there's a lot of fucking monsters out there that are still running around and making decisions and trying to run society.
Yeah.
I just think that sunlight is the best disinfectant is like one of my favorite sayings, because if everything is like out in the open, then everyone can make their judgments. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? It's the caginess of the information, whether it goes back to Savannah Guthrie's mom with whatever, right? Like, tell people what's going on and they won't get wrapped up. But if you want them to be wrapped up in this shit while you do something else, then this is how you would act. So it gives me the fucking heebie-jeebies, is like the Southerners like to say. And I just hope that everyone's paying attention to this, because you and I, like the usual suspects, I know this is not the funniest episode of all time that we've ever done, but I think it's like very important that people make up your own mind. You don't have to be obsessed with it. You don't have to let it get you down. It's dark. It's disgusting. Everyone wants, children to be safe and like, et cetera, et cetera. No one wants like trafficking and all this kind of stuff. But
I'm a father, man. Like, this shit.
A lot of people are just looking the other way on this, and this is like one of the most egregious things that's ever happened to international society. In a moral way, right?
But but my thing is this, though. At the end of the day, I mean, honestly, I guess that I'm such a pessimist.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not shocked by any of this.
But that's the first step to like not giving a shit, and that's what I'm saying. Please,
I'm not. No, I do give a shit, and I do, like, of course, because I essentially was the one that set the fucking title and the theme for this goddamn show. Like, with like we getting into this today, and it was for the simple fact that it is something that's on my mind. And, again, I deal with everything, on here pretty much publicly,
right?
And have since crack, like we all have, that's been participating with this. And like, again, this is unsettling. And, you pair this with just all of the instability in the world today, period.
Mm-hmm.
And right,
good point.
They talk about signal and noise in war, right? The fog of war. And one way to, when you're at war with another nation, is that you flood them and jam them with misinformation and
Right.
information. And we know that, I mean, for the simple fact that there's companies that I am well aware of that I'm not going to go ahead and say, but it's public, and some of it maybe not public, but like that have been hacked. And you know, it's revealed all the time, right? You know, data breaches here, data breaches there.
Yeah.
And don't just sleep that it was Target that gets attacked. Like, the government gets attacked way more than anybody, than Target, right? And if you think that someone uh was crafty enough to be able to backdoor their way in through an HVAC system that did not get patched, and was able to backdoor their way into the Target hack, right?
Yeah.
That they're not trying to execute any type of anything to get into secure stuff that is a control of our grid, you know, our energy grid, or whatever, right? And there are people that get in and that are still in, and you know, were paid a ransom. And I know companies that have had to pay the ransom to get their fucking operations back, and still deal with having hackers still in their system and fighting them even after. So like, it's, and the shit's crazy. Like, so there's signal and noise, and there is what is real, what's going on. And I feel like now more than ever, I mean, we got the fucking Super Bowl that happened. That was the loser bowl, right? You know,
You mean the Thursday night football game that we watched
right?
on
You know
Sunday?
what I mean? How the fuck does the kicker not get the MVP? The
Yeah,
dude
dude,
that scored
I gotta feel
15
it.
fucking points not get the MVP. Now shout out to Walker, because Walker was putting this thing down. He had some really, he had some good runs, and he was doing his thing against, you know, he was doing his thing, right? I'm not hating, please don't. But like, I knew the whole time my son and I were talking about it, and we're like, I guarantee, because they were talking, and my son was like, so who you think's gonna get the MVP? I was like, I guarantee you the fucking kicker's not getting the MVP. I was like, I guarantee you the kicker's not. I was like, they not never ever, not never ever. And the only person to ever get it was Desmond Howard for the Chiefs, for because he ran back like fucking 2 kick or punt returns or some shit.
It's always quarterbacks and wide receivers. That's or like a running back who does a giant job.
It's those 3 jobs, or like, or somebody like a cornerback, or but never an offensive lineman.
Never a defensive anyone. No special teams. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and the kicker that clutched it up, like, he didn't miss one, did he?
No, he was. I think 5 for 5.
Yeah,
5 for 5. Maybe the 5 for 5.
He didn't miss not single one.
And they weren't even close. They were like all like
oh yeah, he was dead nuts. Yeah. You know what really sucks is that, you know, we put like a couple dollars on some football squares at one of my friends' house, and we had our numbers backwards. And
word.
thought that like the final, I was like, fuck yeah, we was like, yeah. And I texted he was like, nah homie, you got, and I was like, oh. He was like, don't trip. He was like, I thought you had it too. I had to look at it for a moment.
Well, I was watching. Nobody thought that it would be a shutout from either team in the first half. So at the
Absolutely
beginning,
not.
like right after Bad Bunny's performance, and like I said, we could leave Jizz Lane and all the rest of the creeps in the before
Yeah.
times of this episode. But yeah, man, I think like right after Bad Bunny's performance, I started seeing a lot of bets on the place of your choice, but of like if it's going to be a shutout. There's never been a Super Bowl shutout ever. I think it was 1973. The Cowboys got beat like 27-3 or something. But
Mm.
there's never been a Super Bowl without a touchdown, and there's never been a shutout in the Super Bowl. So people were taking giant bets. Like once halftime is reached, and you see that they've got like what they have at
See, I
halftime,
wasn't paying attention to
yards
this.
at halftime. You're
Please
like,
tell me. So there was there was a lot of betting because we've had a very busy day here in this household.
yeah.
So I straight up dead ass, you said that if I'm hearing you correctly, at halftime there was a spike in bets that there would be no and above below said the defense because they were that damn good. Yes, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
With that, they were good, great performance.
Collapsing ass pocket every time.
But like damn. So what happened? Like you said, like
So
how much did it go up? What?
So there was just like a giant number on like DraftKings, Bet365, Polymarket, Kalshi, all whatever you can find to bet on. In a macro level, there was giant spikes in bets because like no team had ever only had like 53 total yards at halftime and scored 0 points. Like these are the two best teams in football after 18 weeks, right? And so people were going, well, if you've got a little extra money, why would you not throw it towards the bet of a shutout? Like the thing that never happened would pay off so much bigger than what it was. But of course, like late third quarter, early fourth quarter, they start scoring and actually completing passes. But it was such, like we said, it was such a terrible like defense. I say terrible, but it was such a defensive matchup like you would find with two terrible teams on a Thursday that people started taking these gigantic, I'm talking 6-figure bets here, 7-figure bets there. People started taking like really big chances because like there was a chance that we could see something that had never been done before. And of course that didn't play out, but people bet on the fucking color of the Gatorade, so
yeah, man,
there is that too.
Did you take any unusual bets, or did you make any bets at all, or any wagers?
I made it's funny that AB just said I got 5 on it. I made a $5 bet
that's what we did on our square. Like
I made one bet.
Yeah,
I made one bet, and it was that the national anthem by Charlie Puth would last more than 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And I won that. It was 2 minutes and 13 seconds. So
what did you? So how you wagered? How much?
I wagered $5 and I won 25.
No shit.
Yeah.
Was that through one of the apps or whatever?
No, just a person.
Gotcha. Cool. I like it. No, I like personal bets too.
I said I'll give you 5-1 odds that it'll go 2 minutes and whatever. And this person, I won't say their name, was like, "There's no way the national anthem's gonna last more than fucking 2.5." I was like, yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm like seeing 204, 205, and he's going, and the home, and I'm like, just drag it out, dog, please. Of the brave. So yeah, man, that was my fun part. So I had my fun before the first kickoff, man. It was a good show. I enjoyed myself, even though the game was like, not one to write home about.
Well, who were you rooting for?
I was going for the Seahawks, man. I like the Seahawks, and I'm not exactly a big Robert Kraft fan, so that sealed it for me. I didn't think, and I also, like, if I was going to put money on the game, which I didn't, I don't think you should be betting on a 23-year-old quarterback in his first Super Bowl, man. You can't. He's either gonna throw interceptions, or he's gonna get sacked 6 times, or he's going to make nervous throws, which we saw so many overthrows, underthrows, and that's
And
exactly
he
why I don't bet.
was running for his life with a
Yeah,
4-man rush.
yeah,
The thing
exactly.
is that doesn't have an offensive line, just like fucking the Bengals don't have
And
an
that's why
offensive
people were
line.
making $1 million bets. They saw the pocket collapsing for 30 minutes straight, and then halftime starts, and you're like, I don't know how they just fixed the offensive line on this. So that was the thought there.
My thing is that I don't throw good money away at that. You know what I mean? At foolish shit. Like, you
I
know,
don't
I
throw
just
money
kind
at something I can't control. So except for
exactly
like,
like poker is the one like
yeah,
form of gambling, and then I would say, you know, because we do play fantasy
yeah,
sports that are, you know, whatever, like, you know, I so those I guess are the forms of gambling that I do. Do. Um, but like you said, like the odds, I, 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 I guess I also I have an addictive personality. I'm gonna say that I have a friend, um, the other day we were playing cards, and while we were watching the playoff game, and he made like that day he made some ridiculous like 7 leg parlay and won
right.
10 grand, right? In one bet. But then he had other bets and he kept betting and betting and betting. And by the end
Mhm.
of the day, this motherfucker made like 20K, right?
Right.
And then he said that he had made hundreds of thousands of dollars that year alone in wagers and like winnings. And I was just like, but I was watching like how he was just throwing $100 odds on random shit to hit
Mhm.
like that, and
Like the
was
national anthem thing is like
hit
stupid.
like and hitting. Because I mean, like instead of putting $5 on it, oh, I'll put 500 on it. Like he instead of $5, it'd have been 500. Like boom, you know what I mean? And it would have been like, there it is.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, there's like no, I'm having anxiety, like, and like I'm watching it in real time, like it's my money. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
you know what I mean? Because though
Oh
I'm watching the homie put this shit down in real time. I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Like, because I'm like, is this motherfucker about to lose $5,000 on some stupid shit or what?
no.
You know?
See, for
But
me, it's like, hey, man, I respect those people. Like, don't bet what you can't lose comfortably. That's fine.
well,
But like, it
and he's
reminds
got
me.
his nut. Yeah.
I think you should stay out of it because a lot of people. It reminds me like the parlays and they're like, oh, you get $50 free.
I
And
will not do that shit.
it
Fuck.
reminds me of like my grandfather when he's chain smoking or something. You know what I mean? Like when is it ever going to be enough, right? Like you're eventually going to take a loss that is uncomfortable, and that's where you and I like have the same anxiety where I'm like I can lose $5 on a fucking, some stupid bet's fine. But it really there's a reason that like drugs, smoking, alcoholism and gambling are kind of like it gets to that same
Sex.
scratching of the itch that people that are like you and I definitely are susceptible to. So
I used to do a little, but a little wouldn't do it, so a little got
yeah,
more.
I've done a lot of vices in my life. I don't need a fucking another one in my
Yeah,
later half.
dude.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
that's the thing. Like that, I know. Like so, I mean, being and going to Vegas as many times as I ended up going in my younger life, um, man, I mean, straight up, Jeff, there were there were trips where like I spent over 48. I mean, I'm gonna say there was one trip where I know I was on the poker floor for 3 days straight without sleep.
Damn. See, it's like a drug. Yeah.
I would get up, take a stretch, like if I had to take a piss, you know what I mean? My seat and shit, everything. Like, I saw I'd get up, I'd have food, drink, like whatever, like, cause
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, they were like, this fool's here. Like, so it's like they were
Yeah.
giving me and this was back in the days when,
And were you drinking? So you got free drinks and shit?
oh hell yeah. Like
Yeah.
I got whatever I want. It got to a point, man, like, so it was that my dad lost his
Yo,
shit.
bitch, let me get a filet mignon.
Oh, dude, I was on some shit. Look, man, I had them fucked up too
I can
because
imagine it, dude. I wish I
was
had video
drinking. I
footage of
was
it,
drinking
dude.
like a freight train, and at one point, it was like it it was like 5 a.m. and uh, I asked the waitress. I was like, "Yo, I want a chocolate milk," and everybody at the fucking table was like, like what?"
You don't want
And
no
even the
vodka or
way,
Kahlua in it or
even
nothing?
though like the waitress was like, "What you?" I don't know if we've got that, but I was like,
We don't allow kids in here.
"You got milk?" I was like, "You got drinks that that have milk and shit and coffee and shit." I was like, "Ask the bartender if I can get a motherfucking chocolate milk." She was like, "I will, honey." I threw I threw a black chip at her like, I'm like.
What is that, $1?
No, that was $100,
Yeah,
sir.
there you go.
That was $100 chocolate milk. And
Yeah.
it was a couple chocolate milks because I was like, I want a couple more. And like I chugged. That was the thing. I don't know why it never that like after I'd been drinking any type of amount of time forever, like I always would get the munchies for dairy after
Yeah.
alcohol.
Coats
Drinking
the
alcohol.
coats the
I don't
tubes.
know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know what it was. I was like, I would just that's what I craved. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm not like a goody two shoes. I've done my fair share of gambling. I've done my fair share of everything. But I think like the older I get, right, it feels like I shouldn't be. I don't know. Like you said, like it's. I think it's more acceptable in my brain to like poker's my game, right? Just because I can play the cards in my hand, and if I
But you're
don't get
playing the
them,
people
then
though too.
I can bring back the damage that is because my shitty cards. At least I have some sense of control over what's going on, and so that's why it ended up that like poker was my game.
You can assess your odds, right? That's how I always look at it because I
Yeah,
very much think
right.
statistically and think odds historically, and then
Like
also
roulette for me is like,
I
oh
go
god,
off of oh yeah, people that play
you
roulette
fucking
now.
do that, dude.
No, but here's the thing though. I've watched so many videos that's popped up in my algorithm because I think it knows that like I definitely dopamine spike anytime that I see
Mhm.
gambling in any type of like way to like have structure, like you know what I mean, and control and think about figuring out odds
Yeah,
and that shit. And there is effective ways that it breaks it down where there's only certain ways that you want to make logical bets, and there's like certain corners
sure.
that you cover, and it
Yeah,
covers the spread where it's like that. But my my father, he worked for a casino at one point in time, right? And like I have family members that also had worked at casinos and had family members that were dealers and stuff like that. I used to play cards with dealers. I even played one time in the World Series of Poker with the dealers tournament, right? And
damn.
because my dad because I had sold my main seat, because I had earned a main event, and I sold it. So that's 10K, and I sold it, and then played in some of the minor tournaments and cashed the
There you
rest.
go. That's kind of a good move, you know.
I didn't want to play, and because I knew that I was gonna have to be like way past what
Hmm.
I couldn't get off work and everything like that.
Right,
And
right.
I went out there, and like we were VIPs of Full Tilt, and like we were in
Oh shit.
Full Tilt like so I met all of them, and
Hmm.
uh even Ferguson
Well,
knocked me out of one of the Turks
no
tournaments.
shit. Really?
Yeah, Jesus did,
Damn.
yeah.
I've known you
And
for a while. I didn't know that.
even he's well, I had him sign my so I was wearing my participant shirt that day, and I was like, "You signing my shirt, fucker?" Like, because he knocked me out. I got a picture with him and shit. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he was like, "It's a bad beat," but I was like,
Damn.
"I was fuck you, man." It's like, you're signing my motherfucking shirt, bitch.
That's tough, man.
And it
Well,
was
speaking of
like
gambling,
2 peaks away from a cash.
damn, damn,
Three positions
damn.
away from cash.
That's the heartbreaking part. You're like, oh man, I could have been a contender.
It's
Uh,
fun though.
yeah, it is fun, and that's the thing. A lot of people are like I said, like they spend the money to just participate in the game, and that's fun for them, even if they don't win, and that's great. But like, I got a lot of people that were asking me to like bet on the Olympics, which I don't know a lot about the Winter Olympics and whatnot, which is going on right now. And I guess my
Rest
question,
in peace to old girl's career too, man.
oh,
Like,
Lindsey Vonn, poor girl, man, broke
man,
her
that was
leg,
horrible.
man, ACL's fucked
But
up.
no, what a thug though, man. Like, hats off to old girl,
She
because
was
like
thugging it out, dog. Yeah,
old girl did some boogie shit.
yeah.
Like, she did a full send. Like,
Can't nobody hold me down.
nah,
Oh
man.
no.
Like, hats off to old girl, because she blew out a ACL like 9
Back a
days
week
before.
later, dude. Like that's pretty
Like, and
gangster.
you're gonna go like high speed downhill skiing with
70
a
miles an hour on that
yeah,
shit.
these people are hitting 80 miles an hour, fam. Like, and she was up like above 70 when like her
Yeah.
catastrophe happened.
She's going
Like, what do you think?
72.3 or something like that.
You
Yeah, yeah,
can't
yeah.
you can't hold yourself up on a busted
Yeah.
ACL at 75 miles, and the amount of G forces that I don't care how strong your shit is.
Yeah. Sorry. You could put together that shit with steel wire and it's gonna,
Wow, man! Like,
sorry.
old girl just said, "Though I don't care. I'm a motherfucker." She did that. I'm a motherfucking soldier. She did that. She
Yeah.
had one of those moments. Like, I
She
ain't
was like,
mad at her.
I'm going out with a medal or I'm going out by helicopter. And she, she basically like made
Middle
that gamble, dude, for sure.
middle
But I
fingers
got a
into the air
question.
till the end. Yes,
This
sir.
just arose in my brain, man. So, you've had your fair share of like poker and gambling and stuff. We were just talking about all the ways that you can do it. I
Yes,
think this has slipped by a lot of people, and I want to ask you what like your honest thoughts are.
yes, sir.
Is in the United States, a lot it hasn't been made a big deal of that we've legalized gambling in all
Oh
50
yeah,
states.
it's
And I don't think
crazy.
like it's at least sports betting. I mean, all these apps can be done in all 50 states, right?
We've
And
normalized it and
what do you
incorporated it into the fucking game. So it's big
on every
pharma.
advertisement? My
It
question to you is
yes.
what is the damage that's going to be done by like I mean, obviously any jackass can make a terrible bet and then lose
Mhm.
everything they have, but I want you to think on a macro level. What is this doing to like the entire society that we've just basically legalized gambling? Cuz when I did it in Sim City, crime and corruption went out of control and it was a more gigantic problem. So what happens when we
Yeah.
just do it in regular 350 million people now freely gamble and no one even ever talks about the repercussions?
Well, I think the problem is going to be um like in any situation when there are vices involved or even anything that you can make an or gain an advantage on.
Yeah.
Because education, there's going to be a lack of education, and the folks that are educated in regards to gambling and the slippery slope, we'll say, right?
Mm-hmm.
The traps of gambling, and never knowing that there's never a sure one unless there's some fuckery involved, right? And what I
Mm-hmm.
was saying was my point was about the dealers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roulette dealers. I had spoken to roulette dealers myself, and they know they can throw. Because think about it, how many times they throw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have
Mm-hmm.
the ability to
They can
kind
feel
of
it. Yeah.
put it somewhere if they want to fuck you.
Yeah. There's always amount of fuckery, man. And that's
But
exactly where I was trying to lead you to, was
but the
like there's always going to be
education,
somebody with their finger on the scale on this
correct.
stuff.
And
You
and
know?
I would say that I educate my children, and I use this as an example in real time. And the reason why you asked me, I was like, it hits home because I have absolutely, since my children been very small. What's up, Miss Joy? It goes good. It's so good to see you. Um, Last night in Washington State. You'll travel tomorrow. Where are you traveling to? Where she? But I use this as a real time to educate my children
Yeah.
on like the fact that they're being exposed to all of these pharmaceutical advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that the engineering behind it, and the alcohol, the gambling, the food ads and car ads and insurance ads. That's all there
Mm-hmm.
is, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's like during
You
the
could see it in the
fucking
Super Bowl commercials last night. It's all apps, crypto,
there was
or
no
TV
did
shows.
you was there any at this point I really there was not any commercial that I remember that stood out for me last night.
Yeah, midway through, I was asking my mom. I was like, "None of these are funny." I really
Ah,
liked I really did. The one that stood out for me was like of course,
I'm
like
gonna wonder if it's the
the
one I'm thinking of.
Budweiser. They always kill it with the baby bird on the back of the
That
horse,
one.
and it becomes a hawk. That's
I
really the only
told
one I
I
remember.
told that was it became a bald eagle, and I told my
Yep,
son, I was like, that's the award winner right there because of
that's the best one.
the patriotic imagery that happened,
Mhm.
and especially at this point in time when it feels like we're gonna fucking just declare war on everyone.
Whoever, yeah,
Patriotism wins, I guess, or
yeah.
not, right?
Well, there's versions of patriotism these days, but yeah, that was the one that stood
Correct.
up for me because I saw like I think the visual for me was like when
No, it was visually stunning.
yes,
That's the reason why I told my son that. I was like, that shot is breathtaking
yeah.
with the way that they matched, and then
It
of
looked
course
like
it
the
was visual.
Pegasus, like it looked like the horse had wings.
Dude, like,
You're
but
like,
I
oh
already
shit,
knew
yeah,
I knew where they were going, right? Because I was like, well, where's the bird on his back, right? Because they just showed this
yeah, yeah,
motherfucker
yeah. You
running
can't kill the baby bird in
balls,
the dirt,
right?
man. Come on, man.
Right, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, this bald eagle, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I was like, it was a stunning commercial. Visually, it was stunning. Like,
yeah.
there was some other weird ass commercial that had a bunch of AI people showing up, and I was like,
Mm.
and I couldn't, and I can't remember what the product was or whatever, but it was some weird
Right,
ass
it's AI. It's
advertisement.
forgettable, man. You're just like, huh?
Yeah,
You write it off
yeah.
sometimes.
But
So
yeah, I I don't know, man. Like last night it was an interesting Super Bowl, and
yeah,
they happened though. I mean, honestly, if anything, I remember that occurring more um often back in the olden days than the modern days where it's always a nail biter and the refs are involved and shit. Like,
Right.
but I will say that I've got to give Trace, and I almost thought about placing this bet too, because like I was up early in the morning, but not really early. I saw Trace Nunez from uh Cypress Hills tour manager, road manager. He goes live every morning and has a coffee and a joint and has breakfast and
Cool.
shoots the shit with the chat. And he was talking about his pick was exactly it came in. He said, "Don't fucking bet the money line. Don't bet the over and under. Only bet the money line, being that
Yeah.
Seahawks. Period. Like
Yeah.
don't take the points. None of that shit." But he was like, don't even take the over and under. But if you do take the under, which was right too. But he was like, just bet it straight up Seahawks.
Yeah.
Boom. And he was right. But he was like, if you are gonna take it, he's to take the under. But he was it's like,
Yeah. We had two of
he
the
was
best
right.
defenses in the league. I mean, that's
You know, it makes
a
sense.
smart thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It was great advice.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's like you said, I had somebody say to me the other day, like, is it January 89th? Like how long is January going to be? It feels like we've lived through a lot of stuff. And so like now that we're I think past the Super Bowl and all the things that come with that, now we can focus on Olympics and like supporting all of our athletes and whatnot. And as political as though that may be, we can start to get there's like a next stage to what's happening to all of us. You know what I mean? So I guess my advice would be to keep watching what's happening, but like you got to find, with all the things that we've talked about tonight, I think you got to find something that like takes your brain away from all of it, gives you joy, right? Like something that makes you happy. You got kids. You can find joy in their activities, and that's like an easy thing to do. For the single people out there, you gotta really work to find something that takes your brain away from all of the tough things in the world, and also gives you a sense of fulfillment and not only joy, right? Like a 12-pack of beer or whatever will give you joy, but it won't give you fulfillment. Right, it's temporary. So that's my advice to everybody. I know this has been like a serious
40 ounces. How many 40 ounces break a TV?
Yeah, dude, couple 40s break a TV. It's great, but then tomorrow you feel like shit and you got to go buy a new TV. So it's not as fulfilling as you would hope.
Wake up like, oh man, what happened? And it was live on air.
I'll never live it down, and that's why I'm happy about it. It's a continuous fountain story.
Everybody has look. All of those episodes have been put behind the vault. Those are vaulted at this point, and the future of those will be on a
need to know basis.
No, they're not going to be suppressed. They're going to be. You have to be a member.
I give you permission to play that episode during my inauguration to the presidency of the United States of America.
Oh man, I better be fucking. Be on the goddamn cabinet because you need some boogieisms in this shit. Just let me handle the press conferences and shit. Like, what's the motherfucker?
Oh, dude, you're my point man. You're my press
what's the motherfucker that, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I want to be able to bomb people though. Like, I want to be able to, like, like be in the room. Nah,
we'll see
on site. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need somebody like me. You know what I mean? Like,
hey Boogie. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we're at a jettison point. Do you want to wrap this up while I take the phone call from the fire department?
I absolutely want to wrap it up right now. So check it out. In the meantime, in between time, we love you. Peace. We will see you Friday with Becca and possibly Old girl, Jeff, peace out. Love, Monster. Split.